The movie begins as Jack arrives at a gas station, driving a stolen Volkswagen Rabbit. He walks into the shop, where a woman flips through magazines. Jack grabs a candy bar, and just as he pays the bill, 2 cops burst in, causing Jack's anxiety to spike. The officer's radio announces the theft of a silver Volkswagen Rabbit, leading them to suspect Jack. In a panic, he grabs the magazine-flipping woman, using his candy bar as a fake gun. Mistaking it for a real weapon, everyone freezes. Taking advantage of the moment, Jack orders the cashier to disarm the cops. Once he secures one of their firearms, he forces the woman into her BMW and drives away. Meanwhile, a film producer and his videographer are filming a documentary about the police. When the officers hear about an armed suspect on the run, they immediately jump into the chase. Inside the speeding BMW, Natalie, Jack's hostage, pleads with him to let her go, offering him the car. But Jack refuses, calling her his insurance. The police soon spot Jack and accelerate to catch up. Natalie, feeling sick from the erratic driving, leans out the window for fresh air. The cops, misinterpreting her actions, think it's a cry for help until she vomits all over their windshield. The mess briefly blinds them, nearly causing a collision with a truck. After quickly clearing their view, they speed up again to pursue Jack. At the police station, the city's police chief learns that Natalie is the daughter of billionaire Dalton Voss. Realizing the gravity of the situation, he immediately deploys more patrol cars and a helicopter to join the chase. As more law enforcement vehicles flood the streets, the pursuit reaches a new level of intensity. Meanwhile, Jack decides to make a break for the Mexican border, telling Natalie she's in for an unintended road trip. Dalton Voss, Natalie's father, upon hearing about his daughter, rushes to the police station demanding action. Outside, helicopters circle the city, and Jack's face is broadcast across the nation, making him the most wanted man in the country. As they drive, Jack tries to ease the tension by introducing himself. Natalie responds with her full name, and that's when Jack realizes she's the daughter of a billionaire. Now, Jack worries that people will think he kidnapped Natalie to extort money from her father. At the police station, Dalton Voss warns the police chief that if even a single hair on his daughter's head is harmed, he'll have him fired. Meanwhile, the police identified Jack as an escaped prisoner who has been sentenced to 25 years for bank robbery. Back at the chase, as the cops close in, Jack pulls out his gun and fires at the tire of one of their vehicles. The impact sends the police car swerving, creating chaos on the road. Meanwhile, Natalie's father calls to check if she's safe. He then offers Jack a hefty ransom of $100,000 in exchange for her release. But Jack flatly refuses, making it clear that he isn't interested in money. Frustrated, Dalton turns his anger on Natalie, blaming her for the mess. Seizing the moment, Natalie's stepmother adds her own criticisms, listing all the ways Natalie has disappointed them. But Jack defends Natalie, standing up for her in a way no one ever has before. After that, Natalie becomes much nicer to Jack and begins opening up about her life. The tension between them fades. At one point, they even turn on some 90s rock music, singing and dancing together as if they aren't in the middle of a high-speed chase. Meanwhile, Jack's lawyer, upon hearing of his client's situation, contacts the police, assuring them that Natalie is in no danger, as Jack would never harm her. Shortly after, the lawyer manages to get in touch with Jack directly, pleading with him to surrender. But Jack refuses, as he is wrongly convicted of a crime he didn't commit. A few moments later, the phone rings again. This time, it's a reporter from Channel 9 News, eager to know what Jack plans to do when the car runs out of gas. The absurdity of the question enrages Jack, and in frustration, he smashes the phone. Trying to shift the mood, Natalie finally asks Jack why he's running from the police. He explains that he used to work as a clown for children's parties. One day, while he is at home watching baseball, another man, also dressed as a clown, robs a bank on the other side of town. Unfortunately, an elderly neighbor mistakenly identifies Jack as the suspect. When the police find his clown suit, they arrest him without conducting a proper investigation. Despite being innocent, he is sentenced to 25 years in prison, but he escapes while being transported. She now understands why he panicked and grabbed her when the cops entered the shop. At the Mexican border, a SWAT team and a group of officers move into position, blocking the gateway into Mexico. Meanwhile, 2 guys, their heads filled with fantasies inspired by too many superhero movies, decide to take matters into their own hands. They hatch a plan to catch Jack themselves. However, their plan goes up in smoke as they cause a car accident and blow up their own car. Miraculously, they survive, much to the disappointment of their insurance company. As the dust settles, Natalie mentions that Jack pushes his gun a bit too hard into her back during their first encounter. Jack reveals that it was never a gun, just a candy bar. They share a laugh over the candy. As they continue speeding down the highway, Natalie takes care of Jack's neck burn, admitting she's never met anyone quite like Jack before. Their adventure, though fraught with danger, has brought them closer. Meanwhile, journalists from Channel 12 get closer to the BMW and ask Natalie to show a thumbs up if she is okay, but she ignores their request. As they lean in for a closer shot, their camera slips from their hands and crashes onto the road. Meanwhile, the media speculates that Jack could harm Natalie at any moment. But inside the car, the tension is of a different kind. Natalie leans in, her lips dangerously close to his, and asks if he has a wife or girlfriend. Jack's response is a simple no. Jack then confesses that he liked her the moment he saw her in the shop. And that's when it happens. Their lips meet. Natalie climbs over and sits on Jack's lap. The car swerves, but they don't care. Meanwhile, the cops queued up behind them are left wondering if this is a new driving technique. After their intimate moment, an idea sparks in Natalie's mind. She urges Jack to blackmail her father, demanding a massive ransom for her release. With that money, they could escape across the border and live an incredible life together. Natalie seems like a fan of unconventional romance. However, Jack finds himself in a moral quandary. He knows that the plan is risky, but the allure of life with Natalie is too strong to resist. After a moment of contemplation, he agrees. As they approach the Mexican border, they are met with an unexpected obstacle. The road is completely blocked off, with dozens of cops pointing their guns at them. Natalie, in a state of panic, begs Jack to conjure up a miracle. Jack then asks her if she is 100% sure about going with him. Without hesitation, she assures him that she is willing to give up everything for him. Fueled by adrenaline and love, Jack executes a daring maneuver, skillfully outwitting the officers and causing several police cars to crash into each other. However, more reserved police vehicles and a chopper quickly surround them, leaving Jack with no escape route. Realizing they're trapped, Jack reaches into Natalie's purse, places a gun inside, kisses her hand, and tells her to step out of the car. Natalie, with a tear rolling down her cheek, steps out. The moment she does, officers rush her to safety while shouting at Jack to surrender. Moments later, Jack steps out, pretending to pull a gun. The police react with a shootout, hitting him many times in the chest. However, it is just Jack's imagination. He is still in his car. Finally, he gets out of the car with his hands raised in surrender, and the cops immediately cuff him. But Natalie is not ready to let Jack be taken away. She grabs the gun from her purse and fires a shot into the air. Chaos erupts. She then seizes the film producer, pressing the gun to his head and threatening to kill him if they don't let Jack go. To prove she means business, she fires at a chopper, causing an explosion. With no other choice, the officers reluctantly release Jack. With Jack released, Natalie commands the crowd to freeze. Then, she and Jack take a pilot and make their grand exit in a chopper. Days later, the couple lounges on a beach, sipping drinks and sharing laughs, proving that sometimes love and a little bit of crazy can lead to a happily ever after. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on any of our future content.